Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. I don't want to get out the car. It's Sunday and today Andy and I are heading off to Coleraine to compete in combined training, which is a dressage test followed by show jumping. We are riding for our riding club today, Cornwall Trek. It is a riding club qualifier, so we're part of a team, but the weather is just... blah. Yeah, literally. Addie's... So I've been over super early. Let's just wipe that. Addie's like, yeah, can you let me in now, Mum? They've been out for a couple of hours. I came over super early, like around 6 o'clock, just because I knew we're on like midday, so it would have been a long time for Addie to be in from last night to this morning, but it's come in absolutely horrible weather whilst they've been out. So yeah, I don't think they're going to mind actually coming back in. They can come in and have their breakfast, but it's all the usual. Get the car loaded. I cleaned all my tack yesterday, so that is looking gleaming, which I'm now like, well, if it's going to be raining, what is the point? We've got to Platt, which we haven't done for a long time. I have had a little look back, and our last dressage test was actually October the 10th, I think, which... in that post that I think I put on to Instagram, I was like, we're going to get out and we're going to do so much more dressage this winter. Well, it's October. That was October. It's now January and I haven't done a test since. So yeah, I need to do some more dressage, get into those whiteboards and make sure that we're not holding tension. We have been doing an awful lot of work on our flat work recently, so I feel we are in a much better place, but it's just whether the tension is going to creep in when we're actually doing the test. And we're also, so if you've seen the end, I think I've mentioned this already, but we're actually doing a novice test. We're doing novice 27, which has got give and retake, canter across the diagonal, medium trot strides. So it is above us at the moment, if I'm completely honest. Everything comes up quite fast, whereas in a prelim I think you have a little bit more time, which suits Andy to where she is at the moment. So we're just gonna go. It was, you could either do a prelim in 75 jumping or a novice in 85 centimeters jumping, and I didn't actually get an entry in straight away, but they needed another fourth team member, so I said, yeah, I'll do it. I didn't actually read the test before agreeing to do it, but we'll just go give it a go, isn't it? It'll be alright. It's not going to be anything spectacular, but I do wonder, maybe because the movements come up quicker, it might keep her more focused on me and needing to listen than getting perhaps distracted. So I'm going to go with that, thinking that it's going to actually work in our favour today. But yeah, got to get her in, get her all cleaned up and plaited, and yeah, get over to Coleraine. It's nice. It's only like a 15-minute drive away, and we're on at 12 and 12:30. So yeah, that is the plan and the agenda for today's vlog, guys. So of course, taking you along. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, at the moment I just feel like every day they come in, they're just so muddy and mucky, aren't they? And actually she's going to be coming in with a wet head now, probably wet legs. So yeah, let's get her cleaned up. It had stopped for a minute and now it's come back in pretty heavy. I think it's hails as well. And I've forgotten how hard it is to plait and groom a young horse that is just interested in everything. I did think about getting the hay net out, but I feel like her head will be going back and forth trying to get that as well. There goes my thing in the mane. But Mum is currently working through the exclusive brushes. Addie doesn't like it when it gets to hail. Neither do I. You don't like the hail on the roof, do you, sweetheart? It's okay, you're alright. Okay. Good girl, let's move that. Good girl. Spritey's okay. Hey, you're a good girl. You must have heard this all night, because even I woke up to it on the window, which I never wake up here in rain, but I did last night. Good girl. Ooh, good girl. Anyways, I've only done 2 plaits so far. And I've also forgotten, I don't know how I forget this, I've got to plait a tail. So we've just put some product in that, so I'll be able to brush that through. Legs have been washed off, so they're now looking neat. Mum is getting the sparkle. Currently working through all the brushes, and I've said, oh, you've got another 3 to go? And Mum's like, no. I think you've already done 3, haven't you? But it's a process which makes her look lovely and shiny, because it is too cold at the moment, I think, to bath. It's definitely gone colder this morning. Yeah, she's trying to eat the brushes. You're good, yeah. She just wants to eat everything, be interested in everything. Right, hopefully that's going to ease and I can carry on plaiting. I'm so over winter. It's coming in horrible again. I think it's just going to be heavy showers all day, but she is all good to go. She's such a little fidget pants. She just like is constantly interested. Oh, who's that walking down? What's that noise? What's in your pockets, Mum? Let me sniff your face. The first four-light plait that I did was absolutely terrible. Really, really terrible. So I redid that one. And also her tail plait is done as well, which I'm actually pretty pleased with. I'm still relatively new to doing the tail plaits. I haven't done one for a little while. And yeah, they're not too bad. She's annoyingly, on her mane, it's like, I'd say about 3 plaits where I think where I'm wearing different rugs and it's just, you know, in winter it rubs it. Maybe I need to keep putting like product in it to help it not to rub. So I'll try and get a little bit better with that. But those plaits are a little bit odd. But the top of them and the bottom have come out nicely. So yeah, pleased with them. I'm just rambling on now because I don't actually want to get back out of the car. I need to actually clear out the back. I took both Sprite and Addie schooling on Friday to run through our test. So I think there might be 2 lots of poo in there that I need to clean out. And then yeah, get Addie loaded and get on the road. We have arrived at Coleraine. So dressage is in this arena here. I think that's why everybody has avoided as much as possible parking next to the fence. But first thing when you get to a riding club is check passports and the vaccinations. And also there is a new tag out this year for hats. So I need to get that on my hat as well. So doing 2 things and then it'll be go down and walk the course, which I believe is indoors. Quickly though, before I start, I'm gonna look who's back on board their pony. Is it good to be back riding? Yeah. And you're ready to go in and do. How was your dressage?
Good. Canter was good. Dressage, the trot was a little bit stuffy.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. Oh, I know that feeling. Sorry, I'm getting in your way. Right, I'm going to quickly walk the course before the judges get back in their box. But I've been told that number 1 is down here. That's how to ride that corner.
Just keep it nice and flowing.
I'll be interested to know if he gets time fault now, because he doesn't look like he's hanging around. Whee! Hey! All ready. I've got everything on underneath here. I'm planning on warming up in this, but I think I am actually going to get too hot. Just need to put my gloves on, pop the bridle on Addie, and then it'll be time to warm up. We are a little bit ahead of schedule, so it's now just coming up to 11:25. I want to get on at 5:25, so we've got 10 minutes just to chill. The course is looking nice, as demonstrated by Sam. He had a lovely round, but had 3 time faults, which I was quite surprised about, because I thought he didn't hang around. He looked like he was in a nice rhythm. He wasn't coming back to trot and cantering again. So yeah, I think the time's tight, but I am not in any way going to worry about that. I just want to have a nice round, working on what I did in my lesson with Fred on Wednesday, and making sure that she is jumping correctly and basculing over the fences, taking off evenly from both hind legs. And it's hard, isn't it? Because yes, I want to do well today, but equally this is all still part of her training. Like, we haven't jumped indoors for a while, the cafe there, yeah. So this is all part of our winter training, getting out and about, but obviously I don't want to let our team down either. Although I think that'll probably be down already by the time we've done our dressage. But no, we're going to go warm up the way that I have learnt recently, making sure that she is unlocked left and right, and I'm allowing loads of time for warming up as well. I want to slowly warm up, and something else that I want to do is warm myself up before getting on. I haven't done that recently. I've gotten a little bit out of the habit, but I used to be really good at like swinging my legs and just warming up my legs and stuff, and that's my aim, remembering to do that today. So I've got 10 minutes to do that now, and just have a quick run through it again of the test in my head. I think I know it, but it's always nice, isn't it, just have that final little run through in your mind. So one of my top tips, which I do think I have said before, but is to try and get in the arena as quick as you possibly can. So once the one before you has done the hole, as long as the steward says it's okay, is to get in there and get trotting around. So I did some transitions within the pace down to walk, and as you've just heard, the bell went. So I managed to actually go around the arena quite a few times on both reins, which was really nice just to kind of settle Addie into that environment. Now we do switch camera angles because the lovely Liz did film, and no offence mum, it's better filming than yours. So yeah, huge thank you to Liz for filming and sending across to me. Now I was about to turn down the centre line, but as you noticed, Addie just did a quick poo. So I thought, instead of going in and, you know, when they go all a bit stiff and a bit wobbly, I thought, no, we'll do a circle and then we'll enter. Now, I was fairly pleased with our centre line. The judge marked us as 7, but just said that Addie's head was going to the right. So just need to make sure that we are staying fully straight. Now here you can see we're doing a 20-metre circle, and my outside leg, I'm really trying to turn her with my legs, but she tends to, on this way, to fall out that shoulder, and it is really highlighted here when we have to do a 10-metre circle. So you'll see her head's turned, but her shoulder just doesn't quite follow around as it should. We are much better turning to the right there, as you see. So for our 20-metre circle, we scored a 7, just becoming behind the vertical at times, and then 6.5 for those 2 half-10s. Then our walk transition was very late. I didn't prepare early enough basically for it, but we managed to still get it in, and we managed to score a 7. Then straight onto a counter transition where you can see Addie's head comes up a little bit, and it wasn't quite obedient. It was a little bit late, so we scored a 6. Then cantering down the long side and Give and Retake the Reins, we scored a 7, so really chuffed with that. Now I do wonder if I try to push her too much into the corners and perhaps we're not quite supple or balanced enough for that. Then across the diagonal, this is quite hard for Addie. You can see we've just lost a bit of balance when we come down into the trot, which we scored a 6.5 for. And then across the diagonal, again, for showing medium trot strides, which, yeah, as the judges put, gave us a 5.5 and said we were running, which I think is a completely and utterly fair comment. We're not quite, yeah, we haven't quite mastered the medium trot. Then we're on to basically doing the same on the other rein, so starting with a 20-metre circle. And you can see here, I feel like she turns better, she's more supple this way. And the judge scored us a 7. Then on to the 2 half-10s. She turns nicely there. The pole ever so slightly dropping, but not as bad as it was on the first time. I think she's getting perhaps more relaxed as the test goes on. We scored a 7, which was better than the other rein. Then I learned from my mistake, tried to prepare for this earlier, but almost when I watch this back, I still think we're a bit late in that corner where we should be putting our walk transition, but it was a lovely walk transition, so not going to knock it, and we scored a 7.5. Then on to canter left. The transition was much better. Much more obedient and actually on X, so we scored a 7 for that. Then down the long side, Give and Retake again. Addie's head barely moved and we scored a 7.5. Can you tell which canter we're better at the moment? It seems to change week on week. And then down to the trot there at F, and again we scored a 7. Was more balanced this way than the other, I believe. And then here, I don't know if I perhaps prepared a little bit better for this, but we weren't quite as running as we were. The judge said that we just need to open her shoulders and scored us a 6. And then down into the medium walk, we scored a 7. And then it's the free walk on the long rein, and I really had to try and get Addie like, come on, go. She kind of just wanted, I don't know, just to mosey along, whereas usually I'm so used to them wanting to be like free and open, but she wasn't keen on that part today. And then here is where a bit of tension came in, so we scored a 6.5 for the free walk on the long rein, lacking purpose, which I completely understand. And then here it's down the centre line, picking up trot, which we scored a 6 for, and then our halt we scored a 5. She really wants to swing to the left, but I know we need to work on that. But overall, really, really chuffed. Okay, quick change around and time to go off. Warm up again, but this time over the jumps. I haven't watched it back, but really, really chuffed with how her dressage went. I feel like she actually really tried. Yeah, we were wobbly in places. The final centre line was absolutely terrible. And something that I think I keep saying every time I do dressage, I need to work on our halt. So that is need to do, because that is ruining the end of the test. Thankfully, we're not at a level that we're doing it at the beginning of the test as well. That was definitely pushing us, because I just feel in a novice, things come up so quickly. Like you had to do your 1 horse's length walk, then it was like into trot, onto a circle and canter. Like it's all very, very quick. But she coped with it really well. I'm really chuffed. And I'm really pleased with how she warmed up as well. She was really good, considering it is quite windy. We have like odd bits of rain showers and stuff like that. But yeah, she was epic. Really, really chuffed. And now it's on to the fun part. So up to the warm up, they split it into 2. So we will be down the other end now.
She's gone really silvery, isn't she? That's happier ears, Addie.
I would have worn some.
Yeah. Well, you could. The canter transitions are much more responsive when there's jumps up, aren't they? Although they've been very good today anyway.
girl.
Well, I love it, Mum, I love it.
Oh no. Good girl, there we go.
Hee.
Rev the engine. Rev it. Good girl.
Lovely.
From how Addie warmed up to how Addie was in this arena once we walked in was completely two different horses. As you can see, she's just all a little bit lucky. We didn't get the best of shots. I now try and rev her up. I'm like, come on, let's work. And then when I go to ask her to come back to me, it doesn't really happen. And I don't think she's really concentrating on the fence. So it did just cause us to have that. I don't even know if I want to call it a stop because it was so sideways as well. But yeah, gave her a moment, circled round, did the same line again, made sure I had legs on. And again, we just didn't get the best of strides. Then she has an almighty spook at the cafe. But I was like, just keep looking at your fence and then get her round as much as you can so she knows that it's a fence. But we did unfortunately have that one down. And now this is when I think that the round starts to improve. We got a nice shot over that one. Disunited there. Trying to get her back to me, if I'm honest, but she's just, and you can just see how wobbly she is. All that thing of like jumping straight and things like that is not quite happening, but that's okay. She warmed up lovely, and like I say, that was quite a turn there, quite a sharp turn, and then we did the lovely dog leg, and then coming around we've then got the double, and yeah, she's starting to settle. She's not finding things quite as spooky now that she's been around the arena. Like, she doesn't spook at the cafe going past here. I almost feel like she's perhaps looking out there, but she's not, her whole body isn't spooking at it. So yeah, wasn't the best of starts, but ended well. And just here I wanted to make sure that she was listening to me the whole way of we come back to walk and we walk out the arena. Bless her, but she was good. Just having a little walk off after this big little pony. I'm so proud of her. You know, yeah, it wasn't the greatest of rounds, but I really felt like by the end she was jumping nicely, settling into it. And I'm trying to think, because I don't want to be that person that's always like, oh, it's the first time she's done this or that, but I actually don't think we have done proper jumping indoors. I have to look back through like videos or something from last year, but I really don't, we weren't out doing much this time last year. She'd had like quite a bit of a winter break, and yeah, I just don't think that by the time we were here jumping, I think we were actually up the top jumping. So I'm chuffed with her. There is a lot going on. There's a lot of jumps in a close proximity, and actually I think around fence 3 I tried to rev her, but actually didn't quite realise it was going to come up on me so quickly. So I'm not complaining. I know that we're putting in the work like at home at the moment, like on the flat work and the jumping, and it isn't going to just come instantly when you're then at a show. She warmed up nice, she was jumping all them nicely and going for that rev, getting the stride that I wanted. So yeah, it's all work in progress, but I'm over the moon, and yeah, I'm actually really chuffed about the dressage. But no, overall, very, very good day. Very pleased that we've done it, and she didn't have any problem with the height of them in there, which I know that we've jumped higher before, but you know what I mean, like, yeah, she was no problem with that. Bless her.
The pony's going to sleep, she's tired. Oh no, had Mum's voice. Taking your plats out, haven't we? Because we brought the bag with us, so I have my picker outer. And you can go back in. You're all done, my darling. All done. We just got to go get the test sheet. I better get changed actually, because I'm still in my show gear. And then, yeah, we can get home in decent time and she can go back out in the field. Bless her. I'm really, really chuffed with her today. And then Tina's just shooting off. She's come up. Also Kerry Ann, so huge thank you to those guys for coming up and supporting and cheering. Yeah, it's been a good day. It's a fair few hours later.
I'm back. It's in the dark again, just how it started basically. Although loving these lighter evenings, like 5 p.m, and it was still light. But back now to give the ponies their dinner. I've been home and watched the footage from today. And I've got to admit, I am absolutely beaming. So in our dressage, I don't know whether I'm going to have time to say this on the voiceover because Mum, the camera obviously times out after 5 minutes, and Mum missed our spectacular final centre line. Obviously that is being sarcastic because it wasn't great at all. There was a bit of tension after the free walk and I picked up the reins, and then I don't know if she quite jogged, or I think, yeah, she was just very tense. And then going into trot, and then in our halt we were crooked, we weren't even on the centre line. So yeah, actually well played, Mum, because that was probably the part that I wouldn't want to show. I know that we need to work on our halts, and I've been saying that for a very long time. I really need to, yeah, get the poles out as a guide pole and just be making a halt in them. And yeah, that is my homework. I must do that. But we scored today 66%. 66 point something, but yeah, 66%. Which, when I look back, in October when we did our 2 last dressage tests, which were both prelims, we also scored 66%. So to think in our first novice that we've scored the same as our last prelim, I am over the moon. I know there's other factors, like different judges and things like that, but actually I feel like she did deserve that today. She did go nicely. Yeah, there were some mistakes within the test, but actually for her first novice and everything coming up so thick and fast, she coped with it really well. Then on to the jumping. She, bless her, she just went so green on me. I felt like her eyes went on stalks, and I think as well, when you do go in an arena and the bell goes the moment you're in, before they've even called your name, it does just make you don't have much time before getting to the first fence. So I did a circle beforehand, but then it just wasn't quite enough. I needed to like almost trot her around, make her walk, give her a pat, then go again. And maybe I should, if that was to happen again, is just take the penalties of being late going through the start. I don't know. It all happens so fast, doesn't it, when you actually get into that arena? But she finished strong, and that is what I am focusing on. Yeah, we had that, I'm going to say a really weird stop, because it wasn't like a dead, like, I don't want to jump that. It was a more like, what is that? And I wondered if, because I'm trying to work on revving her, you'll probably hear me say that in the warm-up, making her go into that bigger canter, revving up her back end, the engine, to then when you come around the corner, you can just sit and go, okay, now wait. You've got it built up behind the impulsion, so you can then create that to be sitting on that back end. And that is what we did in my lesson with Fred during the week. And I think maybe you just don't have as much space when you're in an indoor as you do outdoors. And I think in both her warm-ups today, for dressage and for jumping, I am really chuffed with how she warmed up. It's just when you then get into the whiteboards or into the arena, and that's when tension, and probably coming from me as well, we all get the competition nerves, don't we, when we're actually in the arena. But for her to warm up in all that wind and rain that we had, and she just went up there and she worked. So huge improvement in our warm-up, so really chuffed with that. We definitely improved as the round went on. We'll make sure that we get over to Coleraine and do some more indoor jumping, won't we, Addie? Yes. She's like, for now, Mum, can you just give me my tea? I've done my work today, and you did it very well. So yeah, really pleased. Fantastic day out, another successful day. Hey, you're a good girl. You got a very well-earned day off tomorrow. Yeah. And as always, guys, thank you for watching and your support. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Please do, if you have, like, comment, and of course hit that all important subscribe button if you don't already. And until next time, I'm not quite sure what next time is, but until then, I will see you all very soon. Bye.